For industries, it's a well-known fact that raising your efficiency results in less cost and increases profits. Today, I would like to address a common misconception about the effects of improving industrial process control and the raise of efficiency on sustainability. But before we start, I would like to take you on a journey of perspective. Let's step into interstellar space and take a side view of our Milky Way galaxy and zoom in on one of its outer suburbs. Slowly but surely, a faint dot arises through the solar glare in the lens of the camera of the farthest man-made object. You are now looking at a pale blue dot. The image taken by the space probe Voyager 1 as it is leaving the orbital plane of our solar system. As we zoom in on the dot, the haze of the solar glare makes place for the intensely empty blackness of space surrounding the single dot. Slowly as we approach the pale dot, a bluish glare is the first indication that this lonely speck in empty blackness is our home, Earth. In all its magnificence, the oceans, continents and clouds become clearly visible. This is the single place where all life, evolution and human history took place. It's all we have. There's nowhere to go. There is no lifeboat. Since there is nowhere to go for our children, it makes perfect sense to nurture our tiny pale dot in this ocean of emptiness. We owe it to generations to come. It is now beyond any doubt that we, the human species, with our industrial activities, are rapidly en route to turn this unique oasis of life into a blistering desert where life becomes extremely harsh. Hence, all of us should take a step back from their daily activities and ask themselves the question: how can I keep doing what I'm doing but reduce the impact on our planet and particularly reduce the emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases? It's not too late yet, but imminent action has to be taken. We now take a step towards the famous Urgenda case, where the Dutch court overruled the government agenda on emissions reduction and forced them to speed up the reduction of carbon emission. Project 625 was born. 625 is a program to reduce 6 million tons of industrial emission by 2025. Among the supporting literature, there's an elaborate 200-page report, Technology Validation, that should help guide executives in taking the proper measures and do all within their powers to reduce CO2 emissions. Among the many technical advices and improvements to be taken, there is a chapter about asset management analytics. Astonishingly, the third page contained the following text: most of the asset management analytics optimize machine lifetime or prevent downtime. These effects are relevant to the business case but do not cause direct energy savings and therefore do not result in scope 1 or 2 CO2 savings. Within the scope, definitions are ICT, specially mentioned asset management analytics, energy management analytics, and advanced process control. Now, we are happening to be in the business of process control and improvement. And let's have a look at the effect on energy consumption by raising the level of control and preventing downtime. This is an image of an actual process data of a machine. It shows where and how the machine is running and if actual output is being produced. If we zoom in, we can clearly see the moments where the machine is running but no product is being produced. These are moments of downtime in its purest form. Let's simplify that case to a machine that uses steam, a high energy carrier, with a huge impact on CO2 emissions. The blue line shows if the machine has valuable output, the red line shows the amount of steam being used. This process is poorly controlled and has some random downtime. This scenario has the following KPIs. The amount produced is 1200 tons, therefore 2700 tons of steam was needed, and the downtime was about 36%. It needed 2.25 tons of steam per ton product. The first step to be taken by means of process improvement is raising the level of control over your process. We now succeeded to reduce the number of downtime occurrences from 4 to 2. As you can see in the KPIs table, we did not reduce downtime at all. We simply worked towards a more stable process. But that simple step of process stabilization led to a reduction of energy consumption by an astounding 13.5%. Now, take it a step beyond and utilize the now new available time for production and optimize it. Since we will never be able to avoid all downtime, we still have some downtime in the process, represented by the dip just left of the middle. But by utilizing the release time, we reduce the downtime to 17.5% and reduce the energy consumption per product with a massive almost 18%. Now, of course, these are just exemplary numbers, but in the past 25 years we helped production and distribution companies to significantly reduce their downtime and raise their efficiency. Not just by marginal percentages. Up to 30% less downtime and 50% efficiency increments were realized. How can anyone, let alone government advisory boards, state that optimizing efficiency does not contribute to emissions reduction? But there is a catch. Please mind the optimise table. It clearly shows an increase of energy consumption of almost 7%. This company will be fined for increasing their CO2 emissions. And that's where things go wrong. The company is punished by the politics for doing the right thing. Yes, they increased their CO2 emissions, but therefore they produced a lot more product that is not needed to be produced somewhere else under less environmentally friendly conditions. A viewpoint governments are obviously blind for. Given the current politics, companies should target the optimal point where they produce as much as possible without raising energy consumption, or even better, produce just the needed amounts of products and reduce the emission by as much as possible. No matter the choice, optimizing your process is a key component towards a better world. Regardless if you involve us, one of the first and most accessible steps is to optimize your industrial processes. It'll bring you more money while reducing climate impact.